sound of a cannon being fired is indescribable. For a while, I forgot about all of my troubles and simply fired a cannonball each day for my own amusement. Hearing of my new toys, my relatives began pleading for me to retake Transoxiana from the Uzbeks, even awarding me the title Padshah, Great King. A decent ploy, but my attention was now fixed on India. Strictly speaking, India already belonged to me, as Tamerlane had once conquered it for our family. As the last ruling descendant of the great Amir, it was only right that I be given back what someone else was only administering for me. That someone was a man named Ibrahim Lodi, an Afghan pretender who ruled northern India from his capital in Delhi. Seeking to avoid unnecessary bloodshed, I wrote him a friendly letter and gave him a goshawk as a present. All that I asked in return was for my lands to be given back to me. Unfortunately, Ibrahim Lodi never replied, and so I had to put down the quill and let my cannons do the talking. With 15,000 men, I marched on Panipat, a small village on the plains northeast of Delhi. Ibrahim, for his part, mobilized an army of 100,000. In front of my men, I played the intrepid general, unshaken even by this unimaginable number. But secretly, I wondered if I had not bitten off more than I could chew.
Ibrahim Lodi is so confident of victory that he has delayed his attack.
Adesh?
This gives us time to improve our position.
Babur, I am dying to let my guns do the talking for you. But without a supply of gunpowder, the fun will not last very long.
Nirmata. Nirmata. हाँ. Nirmata. Namaste. Nirmata.
Namaste. Nirmata.
Adesh. Nirmata. हाँ. Khanek. Namaste. Nirmata. तैयार हूँ निर्माता 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 निर्माता
The two commanders of the Sultanate's vanguard are fickle characters whose loyalty to Ibrahim Lodi is in doubt. Perhaps we can convince them to join us instead of drowning in the bloodbath to come.
आदेश हाँ लकड़हारा मैं तैयार हूँ
मैं तैयार हूँ लकड़हारा
All the towers on the road are destroyed. What are you waiting for, my Odashla? Bring the gunpowder to the camp. Derhal! The gunpowder delivery has arrived. That will allow us to equip more cannons. Just keep the forces of the Sultanate away from my marksmen and cannoneers, Babur.
निर्माता 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 निर्माता
आपकी सेवा में समझ गया
Daulat Khan fell from his horse and died. His soldiers hurry away in a blind panic.
नमस्ते निर्माता मैं तैयार हूँ
Careful, Amir. For now, we should not go any further in this direction, or we could provoke Ebrahim Lodi to attack prematurely. The provisions stored in this building will now feed our soldiers, and not the armies of the Delhi Sultanate.
I thought that you wanted to give me the honor of leading the first attack, Babu. Well, apparently you have changed your plans. That is why I am changing my own. Soldiers, attack! Treason and incompetence! Whatever.
Adish.
Even with half of the vanguard, we still vastly outnumber you, Babu.
Namaste, Kanik.
आपकी सेवा में हमला आदेश आक्रमण आपकी सेवा में आगे बढ़ो आक्रमण
These Ottoman gunmen are strong. Must be their coffee.
आगे बढ़ो हाँ हमला आदेश आक्रमण हमला
Victory is ours! The panicked enemy soldiers storm off the battlefield in desperate search of shelter. The road to Delhi is clear.
On the fields of Panipad, the enemy's strength in numbers proved to be its greatest weakness. Having never faced firearms before, Ibrahim's terrified war elephants were rendered useless by the thundering of my cannons. With little room to maneuver, his fighters huddled together so closely that they became nearly immobile. Firing straight into their lines, my cannoneers created a bloodbath. Just a few hours after the battle begun, there was nothing left of Ibrahim's army. My men found his body in a mountain of corpses and brought me his head as evidence of his demise. With Ibrahim's death, the Sultanate of Delhi came to an end. I had a tomb erected for the fallen Sultan in Panipad, as a reminder that the great Babur treats even his fiercest opponents with respect. Having established myself as the new ruler of northern India, I set out to explore my new realm. But wherever I went, I experienced only shock and disappointment. The people here lacked all good manners and never paid their taxes on time. None of the cities that I visited had a university, and there were no good horses to be found, no tasty grapes or sweet melons. Nothing. The one saving grace was the enormous deposits of gold and silver. Riches which made the Rajput empires in the west regard me with envy and suspicion. I knew better than to underestimate these independent princes, whom even Lodi had failed to subjugate. But motivating my men to do battle with them proved difficult. Many of the soldiers who had traveled with me from Kabul were disappointed that our campaign had not ended with a traditional Timurid pillaging. Like a sword that had seen too many battles, their loyalty had been blunted. I had to use all of my eloquence to convince them to stay. In a humbling act of sacrifice, symbolic of what I now asked of my followers, I publicly spilled a whole batch of Afghan wine that I had been looking forward to for months. My men were moved to tears when I announced that I would never again drink wine, for they knew very well how devoted I was to such worldly pleasures. When I asked Allah for his blessing, my soldiers held up their weapons in assent. With my warriors' loyalty sharpened, I began preparing for war.
Now that the Sultanate of Delhi is crushed, the Rajputs have their chance to regain power. Rest assured, Babu, we will not allow that.
आप समझ गए चल रहा हूँ
निर्माता आदेश निर्माता 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 हाँ मैं तैयार निर्माता 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 निर्माता
Tamerlane may once have come to this land just to plunder and conquer, but we are different. Let us show these Rajputs a sight the likes of which no son of Umber or Meva has ever seen. Centuries of war have made the rural population suffer. We may be able to win the peasants' loyalty
Mystery?
by repairing their crumbling
Mystery?
settlements.
मैं तैयार हूँ मिस्त्री
नमस्ते
नमस्ते निर्माता 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 निर्माता
आदेश निर्माता निर्माता
We feared that you were just another Tamerlane, but unlike him you are generous and show mercy. We will follow you, Babur.
Our scouts report that the Rajput armies are on the move. They will attack us soon.
हाँ हमला आदेश हमारे श्रीमान
आदेश मिस्त्री
seems that we are no longer the only ones using gunpowder in combat. Portuguese traders sell arquebuses to the Rajputs. Let us show these infidel dogs from Iberia that they are not welcome here, so long as they do business with our enemies.
हाँ निर्माता नमस्ते निर्माता
आपकी सेवा में आगे बढ़ो।
मैं तैयार हूं। निर्माता नमस्ते मैं तैयार खोजने वाला हाँ निर्माता
नमस्ते jag hör här आदेश निर्माता
Babu, rumor has it that you are fairly sharing the spoils of war. What do you say? Is there still room for some talented horse? In your ranks. Indian gold. The only thing that shines brighter than the manes of our noble horses. Come, men! From now on, we ride with the Mughals.
आदेश निर्माता हाँ मैं तैयार हूँ। निर्माता नमस्ते लकड़हारा आदेश
हाँ किसान सम्राट
हाँ निर्माता आदेश निर्माता
मैं तैयार हूँ। निर्माता नमस्ते निर्माता आदेश निर्माता 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 मिस्त्री
We thank you, Babur, for keeping our village from falling apart. We promise to be your loyal subjects.
आपकी सेवा में हमला आगे बढ़ो आदेश आक्रमण आपकी सेवा में चल रहा हूं हमला
We dealt the Rajputs a heavy blow. One of their kingdoms is shattered. One remains. Rajputs are defeated! From now on, you are truly the only man who can claim overlordship of India! Long live Babur, His Imperial Majesty!
With the Rajput alliance crushed, there was no one left who dared challenge me. A grand feast was held to celebrate my victory. Everyone who had stood by my side on my arduous path to power received an invitation, as did, of course, all of the descendants of Genghis Khan and Tamerlane. 40,000 guests accepted the invitation, including princes from Persia, veterans from Kashmir, and even commoners who had done me a favor in one way or another. Yet what pleased me most was the arrival of about 100 Afghan peasants from Transoxiana who had given me shelter during my days in the wilderness. I had never forgotten the bravery of these common shepherds, and they, evidently, had not forgotten me either. While I laughed at the follies of my fellow commanders and danced to my heart's content with the cheerful peasants, it was all just for show. On the inside, I remain a stranger, alone in a foreign land.